Okay, I am going to go through a test. This is the 2018 release STAAR test. So we're going to go over strategies for the writing test. So this was actually the benchmark that you took. So we're going to go one passage at a time. Now when you get your test, the first thing that is going to be in your test is actually going to be the writing prompt, but you're going to read the writing prompt and then you're going to save it for last, to complete it last, and you're going to go on to your multiple choice questions. So the first passage is balloon launch, and it says Nora wrote a story. This is a revision passage. So revision passages we know are usually more difficult. We're going to be looking at arms. They're going to ask us to add information, to remove information, to mix up our sentences, and to substitute boring words. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is go to number 1, go to questions. And for each question, I'm going to say, what are they asking me? So let's start with number 1. Nora would like to close the first paragraph with a sentence that tells what the story is about. Now this is my controlling idea. Which of the following should Nora add after sentence 5? Now this sentence has to tell me what the whole story is going to be about. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to sentence 5, and I'm going to add a sentence that tells what the story is about. Okay? So, this is one that I cannot answer until after I read the whole story, because I have to know what the whole story is about. For these kind of questions, a hint is we're going to avoid repetition, and we're going to look for specific answers. Okay? Now we'll go back to this one after we've read the passage. The next question is, what is the most effective way to combine sentences 12 and 13? So for this one, I'm going to go back to the passage, and I'm going to highlight sentences 12 and 13. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and label this. This is question 2. Up here is question 1. Okay. And this is asking me to combine. So I need to be sure and check patterns and punctuation. So what I want to do first is I notice that these sentences all look the same at the beginning. So I'm going to highlight all the parts that are the same. Huge flames shot out of the burner. Okay? Huge flames shot out of the burner. Huge flames shot out of the burner. And huge flames shot out of the burner. Now, here's where they start to become different. So I'm going to underline the different parts. I have a comma here. Comma. Okay? So these are the ones that I'm going to be careful about, because I need to focus on what's different. Okay. Now, the next question says, the transition from the 3rd paragraph to the 4th paragraph is weak. Read both paragraphs again. Which sentence could best replace sentence 16 and improve the transition between the 2 paragraphs? This is important right here. It's telling me that I need to read both paragraphs again. So that's what I need to do. Now, after I read the passage, when I go through this, I'm going to find out where I need this. I need it to replace sentence 16. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to sentence 16. I'm going to highlight it, and then I'm going to circle it, and I'm going to write replace. Now, whenever I'm going to check this, after I read the paragraphs again, I'm going to go back and I'm going to substitute each one of these sentences for this sentence and read it with sentence 15 and 16. And I'll show you in just a minute. Now, question 4. Sentence 20 does not say what Nora intended to say. Okay? So it's not clear. How should she rewrite this sentence? Okay? Now this is again one that looks a lot the same. So with each blast from the air in the burner growing hotter, with each blast from the air in the burner, with each blast from the burner, with each blast from the burner. Okay? So these are here. That one's different there. So the air in the balloon grew hotter. The balloon's air grew hotter. So the air in the balloon, and this is the balloon's air, grew hotter. The balloon grew hotter. So we have to be really careful about seeing what is different in all these sentences. Now, number 5. Nora wants to expand on the idea she has expressed in sentence 23. Which sentence could best follow sentence 23? Now, when I want to expand, I want to add imagery and details. So I'm going to look for the one that gives me specifics. Okay? So this is, I'm going to go highlight 23. And since this is one sentence, what I can do is I could copy that sentence closer if I wanted to. And then I'm going to add info. There it is. Sorry about that. Add more info. Okay. That one was question 5. For question 6, how should sentence 24 be revised? So, for more than an hour, comma, Jade and father, comma, and. For more than an hour, comma, Jade and his father, comma, and their fellow passengers. For more than an hour, comma, Jaden, comma, his father, and their fellow passengers floated. For more than an hour, comma, Jaden, comma, his father, comma, and their fellow passengers floated high. Okay, so it looks like these are the same. Floated high, floated high, floated, floated. Okay, so I need to be careful because whenever I have a pronoun like they in the middle of the sentence and it has no punctuation, either no punctuation or a comma, I need to be sure that this is not a complete sentence before it, otherwise it's a run-on. For more than an hour, comma, Jade and his father and their fellow passengers floated. That's a complete sentence. I see. And I'm about to start a new one here. So I already know that that's not the right answer. So I got to be careful whenever a pronoun is right in the middle of a sentence with no punctuation or with a comma. I really need to be careful. Okay? So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to highlight sentence 24. And that's it for that passage. Okay, so now what I want you to do is to read the passage, answer the questions, and then go to the next video where I will explain all the answers and we'll go through each answer choice.